And welcome everyone back to the Asia Wild Rift Legends organized by Kaisa and SGH Network, with everyone fighting for a piece of the pie of 1,000 US dollars plus NFT and SAS tokens from Smash Chains. And I'm excited to see what's gonna happen this second day. Yesterday we have a blast watching every game, but now we're gonna be going for the second day, and we're gonna be the shoutcasters for today. Again, I'm Dash and I'm here with Crazy Apple. Man, how are you today?
I'm doing good. After the games yesterday, the games were just keep replaying in my head, like how
Right.
good these teams were, how the plays that happen, all these very clutch moments as well for these teams. I'm just super excited because we're opening today's games with a lower bracket match
Right.
between DG and Sem9. Similar to what happened to yesterday's last match, whoever loses this best of one will be eliminated from the tournament. So immediately high stakes game right off the bat for D2.
Yeah, this is gonna be the day two. We have seen DG Esports and Sem9. Sem9 got a 2-1 against Fennel Adversity yesterday during their matchup. And that just says a lot that they have the upper hand here. They might be the favorites on this losers bracket. They were able to get one against them. And in Buriram United, they were the ones who defeated DG Esports. It was really dominating performance. So this might be the chance for DG Esports to at least put up a fight against Sem9, because they might have something to prove here against them.
I agree, but at the same time, it's a similar pacing with Sem9, where in Sem9's like, hey, we need to. We also want to show something because yesterday they did lose their spot in the upper bracket. They are now in the lower bracket, and a lot of these players are veterans in the scene, especially like the likes of Ozraveki and R-Hedge. They have a long history already in the League of Legends, especially in League of Legends Southeast Asian scene, back in LoL PC, as well as their transition now in the mobile platform, which is Wild Rift. So if there's any player at any team or players that we know that could bounce back, my bet is on Sem9.
Yeah, I mean, it's Sem9. We have a lot of the really well-known names on this team. And so far, based on their picks yesterday, I'm kind of expecting that they're going to be respecting those picks and bans that they had. On the side of Sem9, we saw a lot of Riven, Jarvan, and Ziggs on their pickups. Those last two games were just Riven, Jarvan, Ziggs every time, and that gave Fennel Adversity a hard time. So I think they need to ban this on the side of DG if they want to win against it. But in DG, something that came up a lot of times was Mystic using that Darius.
Yeah, the Darius was something that we were really looking at when it comes to the DG lineup, because we were thinking, hey, this champion won't bring out a lot of damage later on, and if he doesn't get ahead, he's just gonna be this like a glorified minion in some cases, because he's not going to deal
Right.
damage, he's not going to be able to tank. So it's going to be questionable. Let's see what they're going to pick here. Looks like they're hovering that Renekton. So right off the bat, it shows a different direction from yesterday.
Right, I like this. Seeing DG having a different direction on what they're gonna use on this game, and even having the Varus right now. They haven't picked. I mean, they picked the Varus on the first game, but right now we're gonna be seeing this onto the next one. And again, I'm seeing that the Riven, the Jarvan, it's the same lineup from Sem9. And if they have another ADC here, they might be picking. Oh, there's the Caitlyn that I was expecting to see, because we haven't seen a Caitlyn yesterday, so this might be up for a surprise for us today, Crazy Apple.
Yeah, and that surprised Caitlyn right there. We were really looking forward to seeing this champion, because we know how strong how strong this champion could be, especially in these scenarios, and especially in the pro level, because those small instances where you can really get a lead, she can just extend that and probably snowball a game off of that. And along with the addition of a Driven and Jarvan, it's going to provide a lot of CC so that she can just throw her damage. Although on the other side, we do see the picks coming out from DG. They have picked that Diana and the Nami as well, which is going to be a very good, especially that Diana is going to have a lot of dive that can go into that Caitlyn at the backline.
Okay, I'm seeing a trend here on the side of DG. They have a lot of melee champions, but the Varus Nami would be the poking potential that they have, or rather something that could stop the aggression coming in from Sem9. Because looking at the Sem9 lineup, we have a lot of ways to get an AoE inside of the members of DG. It's a good thing that they just funneled back a bit. They went for the Caustics just to counter the Jarvan. We all know this classic Jarvan counter, which is after the Cataclysm. I mean, Vivi would have better damage compared to the Jarvan, right? But that is not going to be a problem if everyone's going to go in on the side of Sem9.
Yeah, if everyone's just gonna go on the side of Sem9 and just gonna provide this Caitlyn a lot of protection, you don't really have that weakness when it comes to using that Cataclysm on that Jarvan. And at the same time,
Right.
there's a lot of these engages coming from Sem9, as you mentioned. There's also that Orianna, that Shockwave that she can just utilize with alongside the engage from that Alistar, alongside that Jarvan, and especially that those two champs, along with the Riven. So it's very exciting to see what Sem9 can do because we've seen that they are really good at executing these kinds of compositions. We'll
Yeah.
see how well DG would take it. This is actually a different look for DG. We were talking about yesterday, they didn't have as much damage, but right now it looks like they do have a lot of that damage in their composition.
Yeah, they have some things to work with on the side of Sam Nine yesterday. It's not is that this composition is very well rounded. There's a bit of a front line. You have a bit of a damage on your side, but on the side of DG, right now at least they worked with that. They have some damage to work with. They have the Kha'Zix, but they don't have a dedicated front line. I really don't see a Renekton as a dedicated front line ever. Just because Renekton is more of a go in, go back, call the make ruthless predator, try to do some damage, but he's still gonna back away. So that might be a problem later on for Sem 9.
Yeah, and just looking a bit at well, the start of the lanes earlier, our hedge went into the mid lane and helped Chili right there shove the lane immediately against the Diana, which made him get into the top lane in this Baron lane a bit later. But at the same time, it looks like he's able to stabilize that lane. It just shows right now that Sem9 is really looking to get the Orianna ahead.
Yeah, and they really want to go for that, right? They want to get the Orianna really fast up there because we all know Orianna takes a long time to ramp up to get that damage. She's basically just a CC bot at this point. I mean, in the early game, she just wants to use the Shockwave, get some slows, get some shields, and that's basically the play style here. But I'm really liking that both of our junglers are not meeting each other yet because right now, Vivi is on the upper hand. We all know the damage that he can deal, especially if the jungler is isolated.
Yeah, and also it looks like that Sem9 has a really good read on where the start of Vivi is. If you see, there's 2 wards currently on the red side jungle entrances for Vivi, and just looks like it's gonna be this vertical jungling aspect right now for both of these junglers.
Right.
Rebecca going for the enemy blue, at the same time Vivi is invading on Sem9's blue side.
Okay, that just gives us an idea on what they want to do, right? On the side of DG Esports, they want to farm up Mystic because Mystic has been that rock that they needed to actually use yesterday. So if ever they use that, especially that he's holding on to Renekton right now, that might give them an advantage. But Sem9, their bot lane, we all know Sagi and Winter. Winter is a very aggressive support. So what they do is make plays. And I think they're going to be doing that later on. But at the top side, look at that. Mystic is able to put our hedge on half HP.
Yeah, at the same time, DG right now spotting out Ozoraveki already. Damsky looking at him, putting down that ward in the tribush, trying to negate any aggression that Ozoraveki might be bringing out. He is level 5. He does have that ultimate, but looks like he won't be going through with that dive in the top and the bottom side. While on the other hand, we see Vivi right now just completing that invade, just cleaning up the jungle on the blue side of Sem9. Just a lot of handshaking right now. A lot of these teams just doing just farming a bit. It's not like the games that we've seen yesterday. They're just all out action the first few minutes of the game. Looks like they're just really going for their first backs, but most probably we're gonna see a lot of that action the first few objectives.
Ooh, right, look at that. Winter right now trying to do some damage, half HP already. Sagi just doing a lot, and that's gonna be the ignite. No, he wasn't able to hit on to the last tick. That is almost a kill. Ace in the hole, won't be able to get the kill. But again, as you were saying, this might be because it's the loser's bracket now, Crazy Apple. That's why everyone is trying to play it safe. They don't want to take any unnecessary risk, because if they lose this, they're out of the tournament.
Yeah, but I felt like as well, Winter did hear you in that he is a more of playmaking support. He likes to go aggressive. He went for that engage in the bot side so they could have a more favorable back on their side. But it doesn't look like Sagi is going for that back. They're going for some chip damage on that tower, probably getting at least a tower plate so they could have a more healthier back than their counterpart.
Yeah, what's really safe about that, what happened in the bot side, because they didn't burn the flash onto Chalice. So that is going to be big for them later on in this next objective fights that we're going to be seeing. 5 seconds on the clock. We're going to be seeing the Infernal Drake for sure. Everyone is going down. That's why those Baron laners are already resetting. They want to get this next objective. If they don't want to risk this, because at this point, at the side of DG Esports, yes, they have damage, but I think on the side of Sem9, they have more CC to work with. Because if you have damage, yes, but if you can't move just because of the presence of Winter, that is not going to be ideal for your team.
Exactly, and even though we were looking at, hey, both teams were looking at Dragon right now, it looks like DG decided to opt out of that Dragon. They're just going to focus on this Herald right now because, as we mentioned earlier, DG was really trying to get Mystic ahead. So with that advantage there on the top side, they're choosing to go for the safer option, going for this Herald, while Sem9 does have that advantage in the bot side.
Yeah, and again, this is just a Sem9 taking. They're just handshaking, right, Crazy Apple? But we're not seeing any fights from any of these teams. They're trying to play it safe. They just want to get their objectives. But our hedge right now is putting his hands down because he wants to not give this advantage for the side of Vivi. They want to push it to the top side. Yes, that's okay. But at least you won't be getting the blue from my jungler.
Yeah, that's a homie move right there, defending the jungle of his jungler. But at the same time, this Herald is someone in the top side that it gave the first turret of the game for DG.
Okay, that is gonna be a good trade from both of our sides. The Rift Herald has been shown on the top side. They burned the flash of the duo in the bot lane. Look at that. Because the burn flash, they're going to be going in. They already have the tidal wave. That's not going to be hitting. Chain of Corruption wasn't able to save the life of DG Sem9. Now backing away. They know they should respect Platypus, and now that is going to be it. Okay, he wasn't able to hit that one, and that's why he was forced to flash. Wasn't able to get the engage. Sem9 just got the better trade on that bot lane.
Yeah, and a bit of an unfortunate input right there from Platypus. He tried to go for this flash crescent blade right there to maybe connect on the target, maybe getting that moonfall off, but he wasn't able to do that. Unfortunately for DG, they weren't able to trade any kills in the bot side. In the end, it was a 1-4-0 exchange for Sem9, but there's still that handshaking that we're seeing between these two teams. There's still thinking where is the point of pressure for both of these teams, and it's just two towers traded. One tower traded each for each team.
Yeah, not big advantage from both sides, right? Look at that. The gold lead is just 500 gold. It's not really that big. They just really want to trade out, handshaking, negotiate on what we're gonna get. You'll be getting this, and we'll be getting this, and that is really what is happening here. It's like real estate. Is what is happening here for both of these players. So I hope that we can see the time that both of these teams are gonna be going for that next objective. I think the 8-minute mark on the next objective would be the chance that we're going to be seeing a full-on clash, just because everyone would have it first and probably half an item later on the 8-minute mark. So now look at this. Sem9 is brewing something here on the mid.
Yeah, and Sem9 right now just forming up here in the bush, trying to get maybe a pick of some sort, but DG is on the other side of the map as usual, going for our hedge.
Ooh, okay, they want to go on this. He's alone, so he's isolated. That's not going to be good. Our hedge knew that he would pull the trigger, but the Cataclysm was able to hit already on the challenge. He wasn't able to get out. Remember, he didn't have the flash just because of that gank in the bot lane. And now they capitalize on that, and now the target's going to be Damsky. If that flag and drag was able to hit, that could have been a kill for Sem9.
Great punish right there from Sem9, immediately noticing where the points of pressure. And it's like Winter's going in again.
No, again, another pulverized. Vivi is now going to fall down because if everyone is on front of Vivi, he's not going to be dealing that damage.
Exactly. And it's just Winter punishing DG over and over again. This is, I think, the fourth time we've seen him going in, and out of those 4 times, Sem9 has gotten 3 kills out of that, which has given them a bit of a lead right now with 1,500 gold in their pockets.
Yeah, man, that is just so much to deal with on the side of DG, because we really don't see a lot of Kazakhs on tournaments just because of the presence of a lot of clashes on this game. There's not a lot of lag times in where Kazakhs could try, because most of the time, if it's lag times, that could be a chance for Kazakhs to isolate someone, then get some kills. But right now, we're seeing Sem9. They know how to deal with that. They're just going to be sticking together so that Vivi would be cancelled out. Basically, he's not going to be part of any clashes here.
Yeah, and it's one of the, as you mentioned, the weaknesses of Kazakhs. I really believe Kazakhs is more of a solo queue pick because it's less organized. The players will not communicate as effectively where every champion or enemy is. They will sometimes just go on their own, go on these solo missions, and that's why Kazakhs thrives. And right now, Kazakhs is having a bit of a hard time. At the same time, it's still the handshake on the objectives. DG is focusing on getting this Herald, while Sem9 does grab that Drake.
Okay, they're getting the referral. They might be pushing onto the mid lane, but already everyone on the side of Sem9 is already here. Winter, look at Winter. His presence is just so scary for the side of DG. They're really respected at that headbutt to the referral. Oh no, Shelly. Unfortunate for you. I think Shelly's gonna fall down, and that's gonna be it. The referral was cancelled, wasn't able to get anything, and that's a free Drake for the side of Sem9.
Yeah, that was a free trade coming from Sem9. Not even a punish on their mid lane turret. Great communication right there from Sem9, immediately noticing, hey, Herald's being taken. Let's go and rotate to the mid lane to defend this lane so that we can't give any more advantage to DG. And this is gonna be just a lot of good signs for Sem9. As we mentioned, they do have that Caitlyn and that Orianna who are gonna ramp up in damage. But our hedge again getting caught
Ooh.
out here.
Yeah, he's alone and he's gonna fall down, and that is where Vivi thrives. He wants to go for this pickoffs. He wants to go for that member that is alone on top of the map. Was able to get it, but I was kind of expecting that DG would be going for this earlier on because Kha'Zix is a very snowbally type of jungler, and I think this might be too late, but it could still be a chance for. I am not really giving the not giving a chance for Vivi, but it might be too late.
Yeah, in some sense, this composition, especially the duo on the top side of the map for DG, the Renekton and the Kha'Zix, is something that you would try and snowball because they just deal a lot of damage early on, especially on lone targets. As we all know, Renekton is this more of a lane bully when it comes to that Baron lane. So we were kind of expecting that to come alive earlier, but it felt
Yeah,
like Sem9 as well. We're just doing a lot of counter punches at the same time. We saw our hedge was being very very proactive at looking at where Vivi was, but there's currently three members for DG right here. Just our hedge again defending the parts of the map where Sem9 is a bit weaker, and that where comes in this thing that we call the weak side of the map. Sem9
yeah,
has been, or rather, our hedge has been that player playing in the weak side of the map. He has been playing it, I would say, very well.
right.
Did get caught out, but at the same time, he's providing vision for his team, providing that pressure so that this Oriana and Caitlyn could just get to a point to carry Sem9 into these fights.
Yeah, I was expecting him to be losing on the earlier parts of the game because he's fighting against Renekton. But again, our hedge now in the mid lane was able to get the stun down. The Chain of Corruption was able to hit, and now Damsky was able to survive. And now they were able to get the kill onto Chalice again. He's not having a good day. He's always the target of these members. But again, they're going to be going for more
Oh, the
Platypus. Going to be able
moonfall!
to get the Moonfall on the tree, but not enough to get any kills, though. That's going to be it. The Shockwave wouldn't be able to hit anyone. And that's the last two members standing. They're trying their best to get anything. They were able to get one, though, but they were able to trade three against the members of DG.
Yeah, and you can see right there how disjointed that fight was for DG's side. That was a great moonfall right there from Platypus, but it didn't have any follow up damage coming from DG just because they were so disorganized in that fight. It was a fight that was started out by Sem9 picking out
Right.
Damsky right there in between the two towers, and because of that very proactive play from Sem9, they are awarded the 3 kills and a tower.
Yeah, they were able to get it on the side of Sam 9, right? Because they were able to get the win there. They were able to get the tower. And because of that, they can reset almost two items. I mean, two items on almost every member on the side of Sam 9 right now. DG is having a disadvantage here. And what's the problem here for me is that on this part of the game, DG won't have any damage anymore. Because remember, they have the Varus as an ADC. They don't have DPS. They don't have the crit marksman. So this is just going to be hard here on for DG unless they pick off someone. A 4v5 is something bearable for the side of DG.
Yeah, and their team comp is really built on that pick, but looks like
Right.
Winter is looking for a fight right here.
No, yeah, he has the Unbreakable. Look at that damage. Damsky fell down very, very fast, but look at this. The Shockwave onto the back line, but they would be able to fall down. Sagi has now fell down, but still 3v4. Not a fight that there be ideal for the side of DG. They were able to get a lot, but again, 4-for-1 in favor of the side of Sem9.
Yeah, and we just really see right there how different the two team comps are, and just Sem9 again forcing the issue on DG. Again, Sem9 is being very proactive, and their proactiveness has been rewarding them these kills, these fight wins, and right now they are sieging the mid lane inhibitor turret.
Yeah, they were able to. They will be able to get this inhibitor third for sure, and they're going to be backing away. That's going to be the call for the team. But again, Crazy Apple, that was the play for the side of DG. They tried to take down Soggy during that time, but it didn't really matter. They took down Soggy, but everyone fell down also in the backline of DG Esports because everyone at this point on the side of Sem9, even Ozora Veki, look at him. He has the Cirx Gauge, he has the Black Cleaver, so we know that he's going to be dealing a lot of damage even to the backline.
Yeah, and it's just showing right here again, the item advantages, the gold advantages that Sem9 has been slowly going towards. To Winter again was forcing these fights. It seems like Sem9 is really playing off the back of their support right here.
Right.
Winter has been starting these fights off, going for these great engages, and as we mentioned during the draft, the Jarvan and the Alistar would really enable these engages just because they also have that Oriana to throw that shockwave that would increase the CC on top of it. It's just really a well built team composition for the fights that Sem9 has been taking.
Yeah, I really like that Winter has been very aggressive a while ago. I didn't even see him use the Unbreakable defensively. He has been using it rather proactively every time, and that is really just says the confidence about Winter. And he knows that they have the advantage, and they don't have damage on the side of DG that could put him down. Because what you need to put down an Alistar is DPS, and DG doesn't have any of that.
Exactly. They don't have that DPS. And it's something that DG has been playing since yesterday. They're not really playing these compositions that have a lot of damage, or especially
Right.
in the later parts of the game. They've been playing a lot of these early to mid game compositions where they're not really getting a lot of value, especially in the earlier parts of the game. And because of that, Sem9 is
Look
starting
at
out this
Winter.
Baron.
Look at Winter. He's just in front of everyone. He's not even using the Unbreakable yet, but now he has been using it, and he's just on the back line. He's just dealing so much damage. The fight has already been taken off. Sagi fell down, so this might be the chance of 4v5. That's going to be it. DG is just crumpling down to the pressure. Everyone is isolated right here. Vivi is going to be the target. He's going to fall down. Oh no, he was able to get the flash out. The double kill already for our hedge, and this is going to be Platypus. Going to be the next on the chopping block. Was able to get it, and that's going to be falling down again. Sem9 was able to get a 4-for-2 in favor of them, but again, Sem9 got the advantage out of that fight.
Yeah, and I just love how Sem9 is recognizing that, hey, our melee bruisers can carry the fights for us. They're not even trying to protect Sagi anymore. Sagi is just being left on the wayside, and looks like Mystic will be able to defend this turret. But at the same, that's why we always see Sagi being the first to fall down.
Oh, okay, Mystic was able to get one. This might be the chance for them to fight back. They were able to get it, but remember, he's the only one standing on this. A shockwave was used, wasn't able to get anything of value. But again, DG, looking at how that fight went down, Winter was able to put Chalice on half HP just by himself. And that just says a lot on how much of an advantage that the side of Sem9 has.
Yeah, and that's just disgusting when the support can put you to half HP when you're the marksman. And I agree. It just shows how strong Winter has become in this game. And again, this is a best of one. So if DG loses here, they're out of the tournament. They're out of the running to get that prize pool. And DG needs to really get something out of the bag. They really need to get something deep with themselves to try and win this game.
Okay, the Cataclysm was able to hit. They don't have flash in both of the members, though. A shockwave is coming in, so this is going to be hard. Look at that Chalice. He's being zoned out by Azora Veki. He might be able to get the kill. Arhedge is on the backside, was able to get it, though. But Vivi, oh no, he's not going to get this. He has been stunned out, and that's going to be the kill for their side. Sagi again fell down. That is really unfortunate for the side of Sem9, but again, they're going to be going for the revenge kill here. They're going to go and avenge their teammate. That's going to be the Ignite ticking Mystic falling down, and that's going to be it. I think Platypus is also going to be next on the chopping block, and that's going to be the kill already for the side of Sem9. He uses the stasis to buy some time, but not enough to get anything. I think this is going to be the game right now. Crazy Apple, Sem9 displayed that perfectly on that last fight.
Yeah, Sem9 just really showing how good they are in these kind of team fight compositions. And along with the Riven and the Jarvan combination, they have shown that they are really good at piloting both of these champions. And just want to say congratulations as well to Sem9 to keeping themselves alive in this lower bracket. They will be moving on to the next part of the lower bracket, while unfortunately for DG, they will be bowing out of the tournament.
Yeah, I'm really just really sad for the Sagi from Sem9, because he's always been the target for the side of DG during those fights. It's okay, because everyone is popping off every time that Sagi falls down. Everybody invest their resources onto the ADC, but the top lane, the mid lane, they're all as strong as this ADC, and that is where they were apart from the side of DG Esports. It's just that unfortunate that DG Esports drafted, again, a team that is very good in the early game, but they weren't able to get this objective. Their win condition as a team.
Yeah, their win condition is really to try and get themselves ahead early on to get that snowball. It's similar to what we've seen yesterday from from some of the other teams like Grind Sky, where they really try to start off with a huge lead, especially when you have Kha'Zix, because Kha'Zix, as we mentioned earlier, he really needs to get ahead to be able to burst down singular
Right.
targets. And unfortunately, maybe it's something that DG will think about after this tournament, something they can practice on, maybe having more proactive plays across the map, especially at the first few minutes of the game.
Yeah, and looking at this graph right now that is being seen on our screen, the gold gap just went up on that last fight. I mean, on the dragon fight, look at that. The dragon fight was what set them apart in the side of DG, but after that, it was just snowball by snowball on the side of Sam 9. It's really, really hard for them to get anything of value on the side of DG Esports. They were able to get some good chain of corruptions. They were able to get some good kills from Vivi, but it wasn't enough to set them apart in this game. But again, congratulations for the side of Sam 9 to be winning that game. Again, guys, we have a giveaway coming up. Win NFTs and SAS tokens from Smash Chain. Share the live stream on Twitter or Facebook with the hashtag SGH Network. And guessing who will be the conquerors of this tournament, include your Trovo username and make sure it's following SGH Network on Trovo or Facebook. So you can win if you're following on both of those sides. So again, we're going to be having the next game in just a bit. We're just going to be having a short break. We have been your casters for today. I'm Dash, and I was here with Crazy Apple. See you guys in just a bit. And welcome back, everyone, to the Asia Wild Rift Legends organized by Kaisaya and SGH Network. And again, we're going to be going to our game 2 today. It's going to be MBR Esports versus Burmese Goals. This is really going to be a really great matchup to see. Mighty Beast Regiment Esports from Indonesia versus Burmese Goals from Myanmar. And we're going to be shoutcasters today again, Dash with Crazy Apple. And man, that was a great game 1 that we've seen a while ago, right? It was DG Esports versus the members a while ago of what was that again? That Sem 9 a while
Sem
ago who
9.
won the game, and that was a really great matchup. But what do you think about this next matchup going through?
I'm looking forward to seeing Burmese Ghouls because as we were talking about earlier off stream, we know Burmese Ghouls is a very old organization coming from Myanmar. They have played even way back in League PC during the early
Right.
days of GPL. So this is a very storied organization and themselves. And as far as I know, they're also one of the top teams in Wild Rift for the region. So I'm very excited to see what they'll be bringing today. And I believe they're the only Myanmar representatives as well in this
Yeah.
tournament. So there might be a different showing in terms of what their team would look like. And looks like immediately right off the bat, we are
Oh.
seeing a bit of a different picks. We see Jace on the side of MBR, while Camille and Jarvan has been picked by Burmese
Ooh.
Bulls.
It's the first time that we've seen Camille on this tournament. So now seeing Camille, we're going to be seeing a lot of engaged plays for sure, considering that they have an enabler there. They have the Jorvan to start the engages with a flag and drag. But on the other side, looking at this drafts, I'm really liking it. They're picking a lot of the meta champions, except for that Senna. They're picking a lot of their meta champions, especially the Twisted Fate. That could give them an edge if ever they use Radiance on the right timings on every part of the map.
I agree. And at the same time, we are already seeing a lot of these combinations that we usually see even in the meta right now. As you mentioned, Twisted Fate could very well help out Jace in the top side of the map, helping him to get a lot more, to get himself going earlier on. We'll see what jungler MBR would be picking. I would guess it's another strong ganking jungler. Hoping
Yeah.
to see maybe a Lee Sin, maybe Olaf, but they're hovering the Nunu right now. On the other side of our Burmese schools, we do see them locking in Doriana and Durkan, reserving their last pick for the AD carry. And yes, they have locked in
Ooh.
that Kaisa.
They have the possibility of picking the Saya with that last pick, but because of the way that they drafted on the side of MBR, it's gonna be hard to use a Saya on this composition because there's not a lot of front lines. There's only 2 that is gonna go forward for you and where the blade caller is gonna be effective, right? So this is a good pick. The Kaisa is good, but the problem with the Kaisa is that the itemization is really awkward. But if ever they got through that awkward itemization for Kaisa, that is the time where Kaisa would fly out and be the jet plane that the team needs.
Yeah, and it is very awkward. That's why it feels like Kaisa would really need to a bit more time to get herself ahead. It's usually
Yeah.
trying to really get that upgrade on her first ability, really maximizing the AD that she
Yeah.
can get. But I do agree there is the application of why they are using the Kaisa. It also her ultimate also gives her a lot more positioning and mobility against a team composition like that they're going against with MBR. At the same time, we are seeing that Senna and Galio on the bot side. Again, it would be mostly a fasting Senna, where she won't be getting the last hits, only getting the soul pickups, while Galio will be building more AP and getting some more gold on that side of the map, which would really enable as well their overall composition, where they do have that Nunu that could go around the map as well with that Twisted Fate for maybe getting these early ganks off. But right now we do see here Rakan getting caught right here.
Yeah, they were able to get some damage onto Rakan, so that would at least pull out the aggression from the side of Burmese Goals just because Rakan is now half on HP, or yeah, he's gonna be going back right now just because of that, and that could give Ken X a hard time getting the farms here in the bot side of the map.
Yeah, I'm not sure if the trade right there was okay on the side of Burmese Ghouls. It looks like they were really trying to spot out this Nuno on his starting time in the jungle. They did put that ward on the Krugs. There's a bit of skirmish right here at the top side, and as you mentioned, we really were excited to see this Camille being picked up by BG. We haven't seen Camille yesterday, and as well, I'm also really excited to see another Jace because as we
Yeah.
talked about yesterday as well, Jace has just been buffed recently in this patch.
Yeah, that is gonna be the good thing for Jace here, because most of the time, Jace gains advantage in the early game, and Onion King knows that. That's why Alma is having a hard time farming up in the top side of the map. But again, looking at this junglers, this is a very classic counter bait and switch for the side of MBR that they were able to get the Nunu. Look at that. The timing was right. Emo is now super low in HP. The Ignite is sticking. He might fall down. Oh no, he was able to survive in the end.
Oh, the
and that's
flash!
going to be the flash coming in from Rages. He was able to get the kill. And that's the first blood for the side of MBR.
Yeah, first blood right there.
Oh.
Looking Lava trying to get a trade right here.
Oh no, there's the gold card. Perfect timing. That's going to be Alves going to be flashing in. I think that's going to be a kill again. A counter. Perfect counter for Alves getting the kill against BG.
Yeah, and another fight right here.
Oh no, another fight. That is going to be it. The Ignite is sticking, and that's going to be MBR. Wow. They're sweeping the floor against BG right now.
Yeah, and MBR just winning two separate fights right there. A fight in the mid lane and the fight in the river with the bot side. And just a bit of miscalculation right there from Lava. He thought that he could burst down Radiance with a combo, but it wasn't enough as well as that emo on that Oriana. I feel like it was a bit of a misplay right there moving forward when he would already had the Ignite. He tried to go a bit forward into the lane, maybe trying to clear the way before going for that back, but unfortunately because of that, he got caught with the flash from the TF and was able to finish off that kill.
Oh man, that was really, really fast for the side. I mean, we all know that Nunu is always, whenever there's a Jarvan getting picked and Nunu is up, everyone's going to be picking the Nunu just because he's a basic counter for the Jarvan especially. And that's why we're seeing it right now, especially in the early game. The aggression coming in from the Nunu can't be answered by the Jarvan. And that is going to be snowballing in favor of the MBR, because look at this. Early in the game, we already have a 2k goal lead, which is not looking good for Burmese goals.
Yeah, it's not looking good for them. The 2K goal at 3 minutes is very substantial, very significant lead on the side of MBR. But it looks like Lava might be trying to look for a gank in the bot side, but at the same time, the Dragon laners from MBR are just starting out these Krugs.
Yeah, they're really pushing their boundaries here. Lava just off with the timing with just 20 more seconds. That could have been it. They could have been able to get the kill there. But again, MBR are just catching whatever they're pulling out to the side of Burmese goals. They're not having a good time here because they're trying their best to get a kill on their side. But right now, MBR is playing safe after getting away with all those kills a while ago.
Yeah, and it's one of those things you can consider when you're ahead. You don't really need to keep pushing the tempo. Sometimes you just really need to consolidate what you already have, buy more items, maybe get that lead on maybe half of an item or a full item buy, and try to play more proactively from there. Right now, though, BG is trying to get some control in this dragon side of the river. On the other hand, we already see Onion King starting out this Rift Herald.
Yeah, I mean, this is really ideal for the team here. They really don't want to take the Ocean Drake. They don't really need it on the side of MBR. That's why they're really leaning towards getting that Rift Herald, just because they just need to put in more pressure rather than getting the Ocean Drake. So now that, with that said, this might be the chance for a BG to be able to take that Ocean Drake. They might be needing it for the next parts of the game.
Yeah, they would really try to challenge this, and it looks like MBR right now is starting this Herald alongside the Nunu and the Jace. It looks like they are committing right here, while BG is gonna take that Ocean Drake for free. Even though MBR is in a very significant lead early on in this game, there's still this handshake going on between these two teams, just trading these objectives.
Yeah, really. Based on both of their team compositions, they really don't need it. Because based on what they have, they don't really need to go for long dragged on fights, right? They want to go for pickups. They want to go for fast fights because they have a lot of bursty champions on their side. But right now, top lane has been pushed without any answer from the side of Burmese Goals, because the MBR is already here going for the bot lane. 3 members strong. The Destiny has been popped off. The gold card was able to do some damage. We still have the quickness. Oh no, the quickness is now down. That's not going to be the chance. They forced the flash out of the way. They got the tower in the top lane. They got another hit with the Rift Herald on the top side. Most likely going to be taking this top tier turret again.
Yeah, they weren't able to finish off the job right there, the tier 2 turret on the top side of the map, but it does leave that at about 500 HP. I was thinking that the Herald might have been, the usage on the top side might not have been as worth, because the thing is with MBR's composition, they do have that Twisted Fate. Twisted Fate has that Destiny, which enables him to have more influence across the map, have these ganks on the side lanes, and maybe they could have used that by letting the Rift Herald charge in the mid lane, destroy that first turret in the mid lane immediately to allow this Twisted Fate to just roam around the map. But instead, they go for a lot more top lane side pressure. They're trying to really enable this Jace to still keep that lead against that Camille. Because if you see at the gold right now, there is 1,000 gold lead for that Jace against that Camille.
Ooh.
Maybe this snowball for him can enable them to just keep this Camille down, because we know Camille deals tons of damage when she gets some of her items.
Yeah, and after that, this is gonna be the what you want to happen. Yeah, you have the Triforce, but Emo is gonna be the target right now. Look at the Onion King; he's really confident. He has a lot of gold on his hands. He already has the Black Cleaver, so he can fight 1v1 against Ama at this point in the game. Just because Ama doesn't really deal as much after getting that Triforce. Maybe after getting the second item, that could be the chance. But look at this. It's going to be the Flag and Drag able to go into the backline. Archer doesn't have any. It does have a flash, though, but the quickness has been used. There you go. The Absolute A0 wouldn't be able to hit anyone. Here comes the party. Here comes the team. They were able to get it. The Hero Centers was able to hit onto one, and that's going to be it. Double kill already for Albus. But look at that flash from Onion King. He's going to go ham. He's going to be able to get the skills. You go. The Destiny would be there to at least secure a bit of that space for the team. MBR gets 3-4-1 in favor of MBR.
Yeah, in favor of MBR right there, 3-4-1. And at the start of that fight, we've seen that it was a 3v4 in favor of Burmese Ghouls. They were faster on the play. They were already there at the river. But the two globals coming from MBR on that Twisted Fate and Tobu right there. Although Twisted Fate did not use his global to get into that fight, he only walked from mid lane. We did see the Galio having a huge impact to turn that fight around in favor of MBR, and even getting off some stragglers using that ultimate there from the Twisted Fate. And there might be another catch right here.
Yep, Emo was the target during that time. Now they forced the flash out of the way. So on this next objective, Emo doesn't have any flash. He doesn't have any barrier. So that could be the call for MBR to go for this fight against Oriana. But again, a while ago during that last fight, it was because they invested a lot of resources onto the Senna. That's why they had the hard time of finishing a lot of the members a while ago, because they don't have any ultimates to work with anyway. But now they need to be smart, BG. This is a big advantage. 8k gold on the side of MPR at 8 minutes in the game. This is a very big lead, and they need to respect this.
Yeah, they really need to respect that, and they need to wait for some of these items, especially on the Oriana and the Kaisa, to really get her up there. As we see the very awkward item build components of Kaisa right now, she has a bit of everything in the store just to get the upgrade. Yeah, the assorted sword items as well with that bow. Very awkward position right now, especially if you're 8k behind.
Yeah.
But right now there might be a gank here in the bot side.
Okay, bot side Onion King's gonna be the target. Look at that. He was able to cleanse that out of the way, and now everyone used their ultimates against Onion King, and he's just buying some time against him. And that's gonna be it. Hero Sentas was able to hit on 3, and that's gonna be the turnaround coming in from the side of MBR. They were able to take the kill. Ama is gonna be the next target. He was able to get out, but again, that's a 2-for-1. And we have an Infernal Drake coming in, and Lava might be seen here. Okay, that's Justice Punch. Oh, that's crazy. And now Lava doesn't have anywhere to go. He has the Flag and Drag, though, but again, Aelier is here to help him out. And that's a killing spree for Tobu and a free Infernal Drake. But look at the mid lane. Radiance is going to be the target. They don't have a lot of damage, but the Shockwave would be enough to finish the kill. A good reaction play coming in from Burmese Schools.
Yeah, good reaction right there from Burmese Schools, immediately noticing that there is a mispositioned character on the side of MBR. It looks like this Camille is really forcing the issue here.
Okay, Ama, no, he was holding out, and this probably is going to be an easy kill for the side of MPR. They were able to take the tower, though, which is a good trade, but at this point, they're just taking objectives for objectives because they're losing a lot of champions on the side of Burmese Schools.
Yeah, and the gold lead is still at about 9,000 right now for MBR, and even though BG did get that mid lane tier turret, the MBR is gonna answer immediately by picking up that Rift Herald, and it's just been a game of these teams trying to make plays, especially on Burmese Ghouls side, but the champions on the side of MBR, that Galleon, that Twisted Fate, is enabling them to answer a lot of these ganks. For example, right there we saw Jace getting 4-man gank by BG, and he survived for so long, and being helped as well by Tobu and Radiance with the globals that they have. It's just enabling MBR to keep throwing these counter punches against BG.
Yeah, that's because they have this stasis also on Onion King, and that's why they took a lot of time taking him out, and that was the punish that they needed inside of MBR. He needs to be the distraction. Onion King was able to get a lot of resources, but look at the top side. Radiance has fallen down already. And because of that, here's the punishment coming in from MBR. Yes, they're taking kills, but here's the punish coming in. We're taking your towers. We're getting you a lot more pressured just because you're taking some of our members down. And that's going to be it. Look at that. Bot lane again. That is going to fall down. And that's going to be in favor again of MBR. They're taking a lot of these towers down. Everyone is low in HP on the side of BG. They're going to go in. The Shockwave was able to pull back onto the pressure coming in from their side. The Grand Entrance onto the quickness wasn't able to hit anyone though. Ken X is having a hard time trying to deal some damage. Killer Instinct has been used, but what was that, Tobu? What was that damage from there? And that was perfectly timed for them. And that is going to be it. Earlier, losing that Dawning Shadow, wasn't able to get the kill, but 1 HP onto Ken X.
Yeah, and we see right there the gold lead that MBR has. They were able to pressure two parts of the map as compared to what Burmese goals by just pressuring the top side. By they were able to get that kill on the Twisted Fate, but at what cost? They lost to the tower in the bot side and a lot of pressure in the mid lane, which enabled MBR to just keep on racking up these advantages. Earlier on, we were talking about that 9k gold lead for MBR. Now it's at 11k.
Yeah, man. I mean, this is just really hard for BG. They're trying to take out a lot of pressure by trying to get those shutdown goals against the members of MBR. But just because they have a lot of global ultimates, it's hard to capitalize on that. Again, they're going to be targeting onto Radiance. But at least now MBR doesn't have any answer here. They had the Cataclysm, they have the flash onto Radiance, and that call just is going to cost them another turret on the top side just because they weren't able to get the kill there.
Yeah, and this is how you play these kinds of compositions on the side of MBR. You spread out your pressure. You've already gotten that early game advantage where you can just flaunt the goal that you've gotten. And again, MBR are pressuring the side lanes. They have gotten both tier 2 turrets from top and bot side. And right now, they are picking the last tier turret on the side of BG.
Oh, that is really unfortunate for Burmese Skulls. They're trying their best though, but Radiance is having a 1v1 here with Alma. It's not really what they want to happen though. Okay, that stasis bought a lot of time for them, and that's gonna be it. MBR just making use of the stasis for the team to react after those ganks. And BG, he lost one member. That is a key member onto this clashes, and they might be up for some more distraction just because the next objective is gonna come in.
And Radiance is just throwing BG on a loop. He's been playing so aggressively on these side lanes. He's being left by his team. But you can see right there how much ahead Radiance was. He had that stasis. He also had that flash earlier on at the start of the first gap against him. He's just really playing his role so well, where he's baiting BG into these fights where he could just either get out or wait for his team for reinforcements to get more kills.
Yeah. Look at this, though. Look at how Onion King is positioning right now. It's because he has a lot of items right now at this point. It's 3 items strong. He has a lot of armor penetration, and that could be what would take off a lot of the members from BG. Look at that poke coming in. That's half HP with just one shock blast coming in from their side. There you go. The quickness comes into the back line. That's not going to be the ideal target. And there you go. There's going to be a hero's entrance. Not going to be hitting a lot of members, but Onion King on the backside was able to get a lot of them down to low HP. A double kill already just because of that 2 disguise. And now that is going to be the stasis used. The gold card wouldn't be able to hit, but the Justice Punch was enough to cancel him down. And that's going to be MBR getting an ace against Burmese Skulls.
And that was just the ace for MBR right there. BG walked into that tight corridor where MBR would just demolish them, especially how much items they have. It looks like MBR is doing their victory procession right now, about to destroy the Nexus.
Okay, this is going to be the win for MBR. They were able to get the wins. They really are not giving any of their advantage against the members of Burmese Skulls during that time, right? It's just that MBR rotated around the map perfectly with those global ultimates that they have. There's no pressure coming in from the side of Burmese Skulls that could actually rival what is happening on the side of MBR. Alma takes a long time to ramp up. Right now, look at that. He only has 2 items, and that's not enough for a Camille to pop off.
Yeah, it's definitely not enough for Camille to pop off. And there's also this thing where it felt like she didn't really have, or rather the Camille didn't have a lot of support from their jungler to be able to really get her her ahead. It also came from just this early fights where MBR kept winning. They won in the mid lane, they won in the bot side of the map, which really gave a lot more pressure on the Orianna and the Jarvan. Kudos to MBR. They were just really able to play off of that Onion King was basically the king of the top lane in that game. He just was able to control the Camille, got
Yeah.
that early 1K gold lead, and was able to snowball that lead from there.
Yeah, and even the Galio in the bot lane was really fed. Look at this. He's 4-0 and 10. He has the highest. Oh no, all of us has the highest goal, but almost right there. Tobu really played that well. Perfectly timed with the hero's entrance. Always almost getting 2 or 3 members every time that he uses that hero's entrance. And that is how you use the hero's entrance effectively on this team. But again, before we go on for a break, everyone, big shout out to our sponsors and organizer. SGH Network is a tournament hosting network as well as a content network where we feature the best and most flashy players in the Call of Duty Mobile and League of Legends Wild Rift scenes on a large scale online event. Also, thank you very much to Smash Shane on upcoming curation of the world's most valuable catalog of rare non fungible assets through partnerships with acclaimed artists, creators, and distinguished personalities from every industry. And again, that was just our first game. Crazy Apple between the members of Burmese Ghost and also MBR. And we're just going to be taking a short break before we go on to game two. Guys, we have been your shoutcasters for today. I'm Dash and I was here with Crazy Apple. See you guys in just a bit. And welcome back, everyone, to the Asia Wild Rift Legends organized by Kaisaya and SGH Network. And again, this is going to be the fight between Burmese Schools and MBR Esports. We've seen a while ago, it is a 1-0 right now in favor of MBR Esports. And again, we're going to be shotcasters for today. I'm Dash, and I'm here with Crazy Apple. Walk me through that first game, Crazy Apple.
Well, in terms of that first game, if I walk you through it, it felt more like MBR just really getting the reins early on, controlling that game from that first fight in the mid lane, and they just snowballed their lead from there. It felt like BG was a bit slower on the play, especially might just be also the case of being a game one. They're a bit not yet warmed up yet to the plate, but let's see here. Maybe they could make some adjustments in game two. Maybe they could maybe they're on form right now and maybe they could get that comeback, or at the same time MBR is looking really really hot and maybe they could just immediately get this best of three series on a 2-0.
Hey, looking at that past game, right? They have the ribbon right now that is open for the side of PG, but remember, they used that Galio perfectly, and also Onion King a while ago with a Jace. Maybe they're still going to be going with that angle right now because it worked against the members of PG, so maybe on the second game, they can still use those same composition. Look at that. They're going to be using it.
Yeah, they're hovering that Jace right now alongside that Galio. Again, they're just picking the same champions that they picked earlier, although they're not going to be able to have the exact same composition because Twisted Fate, Nuno, and Senna are banned right now. Although BG at the same time has priority picked that Riven. We've seen Riven on two rows. She's been in the jungle, and in the top side of the map. We'll see where this Riven will be going.
Okay, so this Riven probably is going to be going in the top side for sure because the Jarvan has been picked off already for the side. I mean, a while ago, it was really a good pick for the side of Huskar, who was able... I mean, Lava was the jungler a while ago, so now they switch up, they switch up the players. So Huskar would be going for this. So with this might be a different playstyle that we're going to be seeing on the side of PG, but they went in with the Varus. So what my knack about the Varus every time is they won't have a lot of DPS.
Yes. Varus is not built right now as your usual crit marksman, auto attack marksman. He is built as this poking champion where he utilizes his piercing arrow, utilizes a lot of lethality items to be able to deal that damage in a prolonged fight. But it doesn't look like BG would be running out of damage anytime soon because they have just locked in that Akali. And as an assassin, she also deals a lot of damage. Although I'm also very curious where the lane assignments will be for MBR because we've seen them just locking in that Diana and that Akshan.
Okay, I'm really excited to see on how this is gonna turn out for the side of Burmese Schools. Picking an Akali, this is gonna be a really great fight that we're gonna be seeing, especially a jumpy one for this Akali. But again, Akshan has been picked up by the side of MBR, so they're really going and they're taking the risks to go for an early game composition, right? They have the Diana, yes, but with Akshan in the bottom side of the map against the Varus, that could be better because they could at least deal some damage earlier on the game. I mean, a Varus is a very safe pick, but if someone dives against the Varus, it's going to be hard for the Varus.
Yeah, and there's just so much that can dive on the Varus right now. There's that Kha'Zix, there's that Diana, there's that Galio, and I also love that Galio pick on the support position because it just really enables the Kha'Zix to go in. One of the things that we've seen on whenever Kha'Zix is picked is that hey, he's not really picking the pro level as much or in the competitive scene because he's more of a solo queue champion. These players would always group up together, but just looking at the composition as well of BG, they have that Akali, they have that Riven, who will most probably be living in a side lane and during the mid game. But yeah, we do see as well the change up, the bait and switch. Yeah, exactly. In the roles, they've role swapped that Riven on the jungle and have put the Jarvan on the top side, which we've seen Sem9 did do yesterday as well.
Yeah, we've seen this a lot of times. They use the Jarvan as a tank on the top side just for a safe pick, just so that they would have the Flag and Drag and also the Cataclysm at least to have a bit of CC on your team composition. And that is really good so far. Like what you said, Sem9 used it pretty perfectly during their last games. But right now, we're going to be seeing Kha'Zix having a hard time with the jungle because the Riven could be on par with the Kha'Zix when it comes to damage.
I agree, but at the same time, MBR feels like they have really built this composition wherein the Kha'Zix could shine. There's a lot of champions here that can support him from long range. A lot of champions as well that can support him going in for these engages. So there's a lot of options for for MBR. But I'd also like to highlight this is a slightly different top lane Jarvan. This is not the Jarvan that has an Aerie. It has the Grass of the Undying. The thing with Aerie is it's a free damage when you have your flag up. You can just throw it there. Aerie will prop as damage, and it would be kind of free poke. But right now he has that Grass, so to really make use of that, he needs to approach some trades against this Jace.
Yeah, that's the reason why he was forced to back away, because he doesn't have the AD to poke out with the Jace, which is really unfortunate. And now with that reset, Jace is just ramping up on this advantage, and that's not what you want to happen against the Jace, because the Jace, if he snowballs, he's gonna destroy you in lane for sure.
Yeah, and I also love how I just checked the right side. I'm looking at the health bars of these champions, and the way that Ama was forced to back right there because there was no mana. There was already no mana for Onion King. That's why he backed. It means Onion King was just pressing the issue, forcing the issue, knowing that this Jarvan won't be able to outtrade me. I'll just keep throwing my skills at you, keep dealing damage until I can get you out of lane, so I can get those small incremental advantages here.
Yeah, and that's what you want, especially for Onion King. He has been doing that a while ago against Ama again and again, but now at least Jarvan would have a bit of a fight in him just because he's much more tanky compared to the Camille a while ago. But again, I would just like to point out Ken X doesn't have any flash and heal anymore, so that could be the signal for the members of MPR to go for a gank right there later on. But looking at this, the top lane, Huskar is already on the top side of the map. That is a signal for MPR to do something at the other parts of the map.
And if you look right here, the members of MBR are congregating mostly on the bot side of the map. Alves right now is looking at the red side jungle. There's no more jungle camps right there. So it's just really Vision right now, just keeping track of where this ribbon is.
Yeah, I really like this. Look at this mid lane though. Perfect execution has already been used. So they still have, I mean, he doesn't have any barrier anymore. No more Moonfall. So I think it's time for Burmese Ghost to be able to go for the fight. Look at mid lane though. Emo is now hiding between the Twilight Shroud here. He has hit the Shuriken though. Okay, he was forced to flash. Radiance is really playing this well against the Akali.
Yeah, Radiance again controlling his side of the map, controlling the mid lane again. Even though it is against an assassin, Diana is one of those champions that can deal really well against any of these assassin champions because of her kit. She has a lot of shields. She also has that very big CC coming from that Moonfall. It just enables her to match up well against this Akali.
Okay, yeah, perfect timing. But the top side, though, look at this. This is going to be the damage coming in from Onion King. But right now, I think Onion King would just be happy trying to farm in the top side of the map. He doesn't really need to put the pressure onto Alma because he doesn't really have a big threat in the late game. And this is what Jace does, right? But with no threat in the top lane, Onion King would just be happy farming himself up to do some damage later on.
Yeah, and he's really just farming right now, creating his own lane kingdom. And even though we don't have any kills yet in this game, MBR is able to get 1,000 gold lead right now.
Yeah, very, very big gold lead. Very efficient when it comes to farming. That is most likely going to be funneled towards Onion King just because he's really laning well at the top side. Just pushing Alma back out of the way, out of the lane every time that he can. Just because he has the range advantage. But now, with the objectives up and running, this might be the chance to negotiate. Yeah, MBR is going for that Cloud Drake to at least enable this jungler because they want that movement speed buff coming in from the Cloud Drake to be able to go for more fights.
Now you can also see right there the difference on how the two teams were approaching each objective. Immediately at the start, Burmese Ghouls were congregating on that Rift Herald objective. Really might have been expecting a fight from MBR, but on the other hand, MBR had more members scattered across the map, looking where BG was gonna go. When they recognized BG was prioritizing that Rift Herald because of that Scryer's Bloom that was popped by Jace, they went for that dragon. So again, another handshake, but it feels like MBR right there being more proactive on the information getting portion of the game, where they were really looking for where Burmese Ghouls were gonna go. Right now, though, we see on this top side, Tobu is lurking around here.
Yeah, what I really like about that Crazy Apple is that during that time, I think most of the members of Burmese Ghouls wanted to go for the top side push just because they had the Rift Herald, right? But MPR was quick for that. They were already right there. They're really denying most of the members of Burmese Ghouls from getting any objectives against themselves. And now, again, they know they still have the threat of Rift Herald. That's why they're really scattering most of their members around because they don't want that Rift Herald to be effective.
Yeah, exactly. And it seems like there might be a fight here in the top
Oh
side. Chase, I
no.
do see getting jump right there. But
Okay.
yeah, when we go right here, it looks like it's
Ooh.
gonna be the first blood in favor of Burmese Ghouls.
Okay, Onion King was there, and that is really perfectly timed again. But look at the top side, though. That's super low in HP onto Ama, but they were able to get the Rift Herald down for the count, and that's going to be it. Huskar is going to be the next target. Ignite is sticking! 1 HP onto Huskar. The flash has been forced to Tobu, but now the next target on the crosshairs of the members of MBR is going to be the flash coming in. The Moonfall is going to come in also with the Hero Center is going to be able to hit, and that's going to be it. The Justice Punch would be able to get that, and that's a 3-for-1 in favor of PG, but they're still not yet done. Onion King is fighting with Emo, but perfect execution is up. They might be able to go in, but they back away, shake hands. That is enough damage for the side of Burmese Skulls, but look at mid, I think they're going to be pushing that tower.
And good answer right there coming from MBR. They were able to trade the kill on the top side of the map. They were able to say, hey, Onion King is down. And it looks like Onion King did finish the job here, getting that 1v1 against Emon, that Akali. And right now, Alvis is still lurking around the jungle.
Okay, they were able to get it. I really like the way that they play around this map. And they're just not giving BG any chance. They're giving 1 kill, yes, but not enough to give them a bigger advantage. They're just really holding on to that 1k gold lead until they can. Because they know if ever this doesn't turn out good for them, BG would just get the better advantage just because they have more damage later on in the game just because they have the presence of an Akali, they have the presence of a Riven. But on the other side right now, I forgot to point out, they also have an Akshan on the side of MBR. They have ways to go for DPS.
Yeah, they do have ways to go for DPS on MBR side, but at the same time, I was thinking that MBR's composition is a bit more explosive. They do have a lot of these engaged champions. They can be supported by this Galio whenever they go for more aggressive picks, but it looks like MBR is playing a bit more conservatively. The way that they've been playing this game as well as game 1 is really capitalizing on mistakes from BG's side, and looks like there's going to be a fight here in the jungle of BG.
Yeah, looking at that, again, another mistake, and this is going to be it. Amo is going to fall down really fast, and that's going to be even a contest for the side of MBR. They were just able to take the kill, and they were able to run with it.
Yeah, and you could say, yeah, that was a mistake forced by MBR just because of the vision coverage that they have. There's going to be a fight in the mid lane.
Okay, the Cataclysm was able to hit, and that's going to be the shield of the Ron, but able to taunt a lot of members down in the Flag and Drag. Wasn't able to get anything, though. Alves trying to chase down onto Alma, but still, a lot of HPs on a lot of members here. Flag and Drag might be coming, but he's respecting MBR right now.
Yeah, BG really did not want to give MBR that first tier turret in the mid lane because it just opens up the map so much for MBR side. They're gonna be able to go into the two sides of the jungle, being able to put down this vision. And even though they haven't even done that, look at the map. There's like 5 wards on this side of the jungle of BG. MBR has been really lighting up the map really well, and it looks like there's gonna be a dragon fight right here.
Okay, Onion King was able to do the damage already, and here comes the fray. Here comes the team. They were able to get a lot of the members, though the Chain of Corruption will be able to hit out the 2, but the Hero's Entrance is going to be up. Oh no, the knock-up came in, and that's going to be Emo falling down. A lot of members are still strong on the side of MBR. You're trying to chase that down. Alvis was forced to flash away. He's fighting against 2 members, but look at that. That's going to be Alma going to fall down, and that's going to be the kill already for the side of MBR. 2 members running away, but again, MBR gets the better hand in that last fight.
Yeah, MBR immediately punishing Burmese Ghouls right there. They started up the Drake, but Onion King was right on top of them, being able to deal damage, buying enough time for his team to get there, and they were able to take down members of Burmese Ghouls as well as taking that Drake. It feels like a bit of a desperation play right there from Burmese Ghouls.
Yeah, I mean, Burmese Schools, they tried their best to get anything, but because of the way that MBR played, they were scattered around during that fight. MBR stuck like a unit. During that time, they were just trying to get every kill that they can. One kill per... Yeah, 1 kill. Just 1 kill. Just one kill. So MBR just went in for that, and BG didn't have any answer because they don't have the macro that they needed during that last fight. It's because they were scattered around, and that is going to be hard to do when that happens. And MBR is built to make use of this sticking together on their composition.
Exactly, and as we were talking about earlier, Burmese Ghouls composition, it feels more like a 1-3-1 composition, but looks like Ama might be caught out here.
Oh no, the Kamapans was able to get the kill there, a rampage onto Alves, and this is what we wanted to see. A Kha'Zix that is effective against a Jarvan, because Ama won't be able to use the Cataclysm confidently, just because if Alves is there, he's gonna be taking him down with him.
Yeah, and with that kill on the top side, MBR has extended their kill lead to 11-1 compared to BG, and the gold right now is looking heavily in favor of MBR at 8,000, and this tower might just fall.
Okay, this tower is easy for the taking for the side of MPR. BG is trying to their best to think of something on the thousands of universes that could happen. What can we do for us to win here? BG could go for pickoffs. Like what is happening right now? They could capitalize on this. The Leona, the solar flip is able to hit, but nobody is falling down inside of the side of MBR. They're just way ahead, and there's a lot of tankiness coming in. But this might be the punish. They might be able to get the kill. A 4v5. This might be possible if BG could go in for more, but they're super low in HP at this point.
Yeah, they're really low on HP, and even though they did get that pick, but the pick that they got was only the support, only on Tobu, and that might be the only kill they could get in that kind of fight. They use, I think, 3 or 4 ultimates on their side, and that was even a tower dive for MBR. BG was fighting under their turret, and they're still only able to get 1 kill. That's not a good sign for. That's not a good sign for their team, because their team is really built on these outplays, especially coming from their Akali. Akali really needs to get her items up. She really needs to get her stabilized in the side lanes, but she's currently 0-3 and 0. It's going to be very hard at this point.
Oh no, here comes the fight. I think this is gonna be unfortunate just for Emo. He has the perfect execution, yes, but the Moonfall, yeah, he was able to save himself just because of that flash and barrier. But that just gives a lot more information for the side of MBR on this next incoming fight. Because looking at that, I think the objectives are gonna come in just a bit. So you don't have the flash, you don't have the barrier. MBR would just capitalize on that.
Yeah, MBR is just really capitalizing. Again, they're putting more pressure on BG. Now they've known that BG is just hiding near the place there. But there's a big fight here.
Yeah, the solar flare wasn't able to hit, so Onion King is just going to be running around right there. And that just gives MBR a lot of space onto this next objective. They have the referral coming in just a bit, but they're still just putting on the pressure. Tier 2 turrets are now down, even the bot lane. Just because of that, they invested resources in the top lane. They were able to get a turret in the bottom side of the map, and that just is how you play this mind games against Burmese goals.
Yeah, and Burmese Ghouls is supposed to be the team right now to do that cross-map pressure with that Riven and with that Akali, but looks like MBR is the one who's currently doing that just because of how much gold they have, the lead that they have. It looks like they're also about to pick up the 3rd Drake of the game.
Yeah, they're going to be going for that Drake, and that is a really valuable Drake to get, honestly. Having the Ocean Drake long drag on fights, especially when you have a Galio, when you have a Diana, you're going to be having an easier time staying on those fights, coupled with the Mountain Drake. So they're much more tanky, much more BP. BG, considering that they only have burst damage on their composition, this is not working in their favor.
It's really not working in their favor right now. They need to dig deep and really think about what play they could make so that they could get back into this game. Again, this is a best of 3, and this is currently the 2nd game for MBR that if they win, they move on to the next part of the tournament. For BG, they will be going to the lower bracket. MBR just sneaking this Baron right now.
Whoever loses this will be fighting against Geek Fam. So they really don't want to fight against Geek Fam. So whoever is going to be trying their best here. I mean, that is going to be unfortunate because look at that. BG has an 11k gold lead on the side of MBR, right? So what they need to do here is try to pick off the members that are really don't have deaths yet. Kha'Zix, a Diana, and earlier with the Akshan. But it's not possible just because there's Tobu every time. Because the hero's entrance is going to come in every time you try to engage on someone.
And you can really see as well how much more organized MBR is, but there's going to be a pick-off here.
Okay, they're going to go for a pick-off. They might be able to take on Radiance here, flashing away out of that. And that is going to be... Wow, Radiance was able to take on to Evo very fast without any contest from them. And Huskar was even forced to flash out of the way. So with this Baron buff, they're just putting a lot of pressure in the side of Burmese Goals. They're even using their solar flares. A lot of their ultimates are down. That just gives MBR a chance to capitalize on that. Chain of Corruption wasn't able to hit. I think this is going to be the last 10 for the side of Burmese Goals. They're taking a lot of damage on the turret. The Cataclysm was able to hit. The Hero's Entrance was able to get used, and this might be it though. They're losing a lot of members. They're losing a lot of HP. There's a lot of investments being used by Burmese Goals, but MBR are just happy for that. They're taking every member down, and that's going to be Elder taking them down. That's going to be the kill, and that's going to be your win. MBR takes a 2-0 against the members of Burmese Goals.
Yeah, and congratulations to MBR. They will be moving to the next part of our tournament, still in the winners bracket. But we can't count out Burmese Goals yet, because as you mentioned, they will be going into the lower bracket and they will be facing Geek Fam there for their tournament lives. But yeah, just a bit of a recap as well on what happened in that game too. It was really, it felt like again, BG was playing into MBR's hands right there, because MBR does not play super aggressively early on. They try and just get these first few backs, and then that's when they go for more aggressive plays.
Yeah.
MBR again kept punishing Burmese Goals. Anything that they would do that would be overly aggressive, and Onion King, man, it's just a rock right there in the top, in the Baron lane. He's
Yeah.
just, he's like the pillar of MBR, and if he's ahead, MBR can just keep playing off of him. And maybe in the next part of the tournament, let's see if how the teams would be trying to contain Onion King. It feels like this Jace pick is something that he's really experience on, and might be
Yeah.
one of the bannable champions against him.
Yeah, they need to respect Bandage Jace next time against Onion King, because he's playing this really well. He didn't really lose. He didn't lose on lane ever on the top side a while ago, because he's really playing his range well. He's using the melee form on the right timings, and that's really how you want to play Jace. And remember, Jace was just recently launched, and Onion King knows how to play this Jace on the perfect level. So they need to really ban this on whoever is going to be facing MBR onto this next matches. But again, BG, you still have a chance onto the losers brackets. They just need to win against whoever they're facing. But right now, they need to double down, or rather try to put more effort on those drafts, because right now MBR just outdrafted them during those last two games.
Yeah, and we are always thinking about, hey, how is this composition gonna look in the early game? How is this composition gonna look in the late game? And we've seen MBR play two sides. They've played a composition that can scale well later on in the game, and they have also played this very dive heavy, in your face composition into that
Yeah.
Akshan, with that Kha'Zix, and with that Galio, and they have played it pretty well. So really looking forward to the next few games from MBR. Howard, what basically they have a champion ocean at this point.
Yeah.
Maybe they have also a very long playbook. Looking forward to see them the next parts of the tournament.
Yeah, honestly, this is a really dominating matchup. Like how Buriram United yesterday was able to dominate their enemy. I think that was DG Esports that they were able to dominate, and that was something to behold, honestly. But now that was just our game two, or rather a match two for this day. We're gonna be going for a match three later on, so it's gonna be between the winners yesterday. It's gonna be between the members of PRU versus Fennel Adversity. This is really what everyone is waiting for. This is a matchup of the century, if I could ask it. But before we go in for that, everyone, the giveaway again: win NFTs and SAS tokens from Smash Chain. Share the live stream on Twitter or Facebook with the hashtag SGH Network, and guessing who will be the conquerors of this tournament, or who will be the winners of this tournament. Include your Trovo username and make sure it's following SGH Network on Trovo or on Facebook. And again, that was us. We're just going to be taking a short break. I'm Dash, and I was here with Crazy Apple. See you guys for our next match. Yeah, welcome back everyone to the Asia Wild Rift Legends organized by Kaisaya and SGH Network. And again, this is everyone fighting for a piece of a pie, sorry, for 1,000 US dollars and tokens from Smash Change. Excited to see how this ship is gonna sail for Game 3 because we have Buriram United Esports versus Fennel Adversity. These are very well-known teams, so we're gonna be seeing an explosive matchup right now. Again, we're gonna be your shoutcasters for today. I'm Dash and I'm here with Crazy Apple.
Yeah, I'm just so excited as well for these two teams. So we've seen them yesterday. They've dominated the matches that they were in, and as you mentioned, these are very well known teams. Buriram and also Fennel Adversity. I'm very excited to see what they'll be coming up. If there's gonna be any adjustments on their sides, there gonna be anything new that they're gonna come up with. And there's some players that we're really looking out for, and I believe one of them is from Buriram's side, Cat Monkey. Yesterday, he was the substitute. He played in game 2 of their series yesterday and just dominated the lobby. So we're looking forward to see right here what they can do. I believe Cat Monkey will be playing in game 1 of this series.
Yeah, what I'm looking forward to also would be the giveaway from Smash Shane, the NFTs and SAS tokens. Share the live stream on Twitter or Facebook with the hashtag SGH Network and guessing who will be the conquerors of this tournament. Include your Trovo username and make sure you're following SGH Network on Trovo or on Facebook. And now we're looking at the bans from both of our sides. We're seeing a bit of a trend here on both of our sides, right? We're seeing the Jax, the Olaf getting banned for Fennel Adversity. It's just that they really respect these champions.
Yeah, and they're really banning here the Jax and the Olaf. The Timo ban, I'm not sure if that's legitimate right there. I'll probably just to remind everyone, according to our rule book, there's only 3 bans. The 5 ban system is very new. It's only been implemented here in 2.6, so 3 bans only for each team. For the side of BRU, I believe their 3 bans are the Senna, the Renekton, and the Fiora. So yeah, as you mentioned, there is a bit of a trend, especially on FLA side for Fennel Adversity. They did ban out again that Jax and that Olaf. Probably really looking, maybe they have some scrim info, as you mentioned, off cam that they know about to really ban out these champions.
Yeah, they're really going forward with these champions that they have. It's really interesting to see that they went in for the Darius. Cat Monkey would be holding on to the Darius against a Camille, which is really okay. Honestly, against a Camille, the Darius isn't really bad. If ever he snowballs against us, whenever the hook shot is going to come in, the apprehend could be able to cancel him down, which is really good. But again, on the other side, FLA, they want to go for this early game matchup. They have the Varus, and the insurance would be the Camille for the late game.
Yeah, we'll see what will they be rounding out their composition, if they're gonna go for a more damage-oriented mid laner, maybe going for some assassins, maybe going for a control mage right there. But on the other side, we do see some of the picks from BRU. They have locked in that Gragas and that Lucian, and very curious right now where this Gragas is gonna go, because he can go either in the jungle or in the support position.
Okay, yeah, this Gragas is still a flex pick right now. We don't really have any information on where this is gonna go, but looking at this, I think on the side right now, Fennel Adversity going for that Fizz, getting locked in, considering that there's a lot of beefy champions from the side of Buriram United. They even locked in the Fizz, so they're really confident that this is gonna work. They just don't want Zhongli to have a good day.
Yeah, they don't really want Zhongli to have a good day. There's gonna be a lot of big circles that we're going to see on the side of Fennel Adversity on their ultimates with the Camille and the Jarvan and that Fizz. But looks like on the side of Buriram, they're going to be picking that Lee Sin for the jungle.
Yeah, good advantage actually. I mean, they really went in for that flex pick onto the Gragas just so that they can flex on that last one, and they were able to get a Lee Sin. Lee Sin, it's an early game champion, really good in that. But again, Buriram United's composition really looks like a very early game composition that they just want to finish the game as early as they can, because on the side of FLA, yes, they also have the early game prowess, but they have the Camille as insurance for the late game.
Yeah, it's a very good insurance as well. She can just split push, try to get these 1v1s, even 2v1s on her side of the map, especially when she gets ahead. She can control a lane and even the game from that point. But it really needs a lot of support as well from the team. FLA needs to put her in a position where she can shine, because we've seen, like earlier, if the Camille is not given enough support and the top side not given that lead, she just she just falters. And as you mentioned, the matchup between Darius and Camille, it feels like a lot of the tools or a lot of the initiative right there can come from the Darius, because one of
Yeah.
the most important tools that Camille has is that hook shot to be able to get on top of you. But if she does use that hook shot to engage the Darius, Darius can just keep pulling her back. He
Yeah.
can just keep auto attacking her and have all those bleed stacks, and eventually can put her down. So it's really gonna be, again, as you mentioned yesterday, might be a tale of the junglers.
Yeah. So if ever the junglers would be able to, I mean, if they're going to be choosing on who they're going to be investing, I think it should be onto the Baron laners. Just because whoever wins the Baron lane would set the game apart from both of our side. If ever Darius snowballs, it would be hard for the other laners. If ever Camille would be able to snowball, that could be the chance for Camille to be getting onto the late game, which is the insurance that they need onto the game. And that's what I like about this, honestly. Which is really hard for the side of Fennel Adversity. They need some time to ramp up. But on the other side, they can go ham even in the early parts of the game.
Yeah, they can go ham. And one of the things as well between these two junglers is both of them have really good early game ganks, especially this Lee Sin and this Jarvan. So we get to see how well they're going to be influencing this game early on. Right now, we do see the starts of both teams. It's very more of a default setup. None of them making any cheese. None of them are getting any early advantages or early pushes in their lane. So bit of a more steadier start right now.
Yeah, they're slowly going in for it. I like to see here because Braum, remember, Braum is a support player. And they went in with Archenny right here onto the bottom side of the map. So they flex their pick. They want Braum to be having this kind of a difference when it comes to the play. Because usually we see Braum with a Thresh, right? But right now we're seeing him with a Galio in the mid lane.
That honestly caught me by surprise. I was like, wait, why is the Galio mid lane? And he is still being piloted by Braum. So yeah, BRU right now showing the flexibility of their team, able to flex this champion. But Shiba's right now going for this gang.
Okay, top side. This is really what we're talking about a while ago. This is gonna be it. Baron just was forced to use the barrier and the flash. And that could be a signal for another gank later on.
Yeah, and the Camille just really getting out of there with her life. Same as Shiba's. Yeah.
Okay, this is gonna be Shiba's gonna fall down for sure here. That's enough for you to gain the advantage in the early game. That is just unfortunate, but FLA still gets the upper hand in that kerfuffle.
Yeah, great read right there by FLA. Immediately noticing that, hey, Lee Sin just went topside. He got a gank. The Rift Scuttler is still up. So maybe he's gonna get it, and just a good duo right there between the mid and jungle, going in for that kill, giving them the first blood. And even though that was just the first blood on the side of Fennel Adversity, their gold lead is already at 1,700.
Yeah, and remember everyone, this is the winner's bracket that we're looking forward for. If FLA and BRU are fighting together, they're going to be forced to go in for the round 2 of the loser's bracket, and whoever wins here. But Braum is now going to fall down. Ooh. What was that timing from mid? He was able to get all those chum the waters. He was able to hit all his skills, and Braum wasn't even able to answer back.
Yeah, Braum wasn't able to answer back right there. The timing, I believe he got level 5 first. So Braum wasn't really expecting the ultimate to be out right there. He went for the trade, went for the engage, but really good heads up play right there for mid. And I believe he's gotten what, 2 kills already? No, just 1 kill for him. But at the same time, this is a very steady lead for the side of FLA.
Okay, yeah, FLA is now having a hard time here, and that is gonna be... Wait, what was that? Yeah, and that is gonna be probably gonna be... Yeah, reconnecting right here for our players. So this is just unfortunate for this game. They weren't able to get the reconnection right there in the game. So that's why they were really forced to put Braum in the mid lane. Maybe that is the reason why that happened a while ago. And Archenny wasn't even able to get into the game. So we're just going to be re-lobbying a bit, everyone, before we go into the next game. But again, remember, this is going to be the round 2 already. But again, this is just really interesting to see, right, Crazy Apple? So FLA gets the advantage there.
Yeah, let's wait for production's clarification as well, if this means that the first game would be won by Fennel Adversity. But yeah, very unfortunate. We are living in this is an online event. So there's really cases right here where that happens, where a player would disconnect. That's why we did see Brom right there in the mid lane. Unfortunately, that has required or rather, that has forced the Buriram to remake to currently surrender the game. We'll just wait right here if that would mean a first game win for Fennel Adversity. But yeah, again, we are excited to see both of these teams clash. This is a very unfortunate circumstance. It is a technical difficulty on their side, but at the same time, maybe you could just look back into that. This game is a setting for things to come. We have seen
Yeah.
Mid right there really dominating his lane, really dominating what he could do, and he has shown us what he could do on this champion.
Yeah, and really unfortunate for that. But we're seeing the prowess of FLA a while ago, right? It was even the Fizz was really strong during that game. I wasn't really expecting it to be that good for mid because yesterday, if you remember, it is also Fizz. I mean mid, sorry, who was using the Fizz during that time. So right now, it's just that later on in the matches, Fizz is gonna should be banned because mid uses this Fizz really well.
Yeah, and it just shows that he gets these early advantages. I remember yesterday that Fizz being utilized as well, and it wasn't as it didn't end the game on a very high note. It had
Yeah.
early six kills, but also had three deaths consecutively after that.
Yeah.
But yeah,
And, okay.
with the kills right there, so we'll really see of how if we could have seen that Fizz though, how it could have been utilized more.
Yeah, and looking at that game, okay, the official announcement has been said, everyone. That has been a win for Fennel Adversity during that game, and that's now a 1-0 just because of our rule book right now that you won't be able to get on a remake. So that was just unfortunate for the side right now, Buriram United, to be on the losing end, backs against the wall already right now, a 1-0 advantage for Fennel Adversity.
Yeah, and it's not something that you'd want to see, but we do have rules. Especially this is a very unorganized tournament right now, and all the teams have agreed to the rules as well. So yeah, we'll be looking forward to game two, how Buriram could bounce back into this game, into this series, and you don't really want to also fall immediately to that losers bracket because as we know, according to the rules, the losers bracket will only be a best of one. So it always feels like you're fighting for your life until
Right.
you probably get into the losers finals of that side of the bracket. So it's gonna be this waiting game as well for you. At the same time, though, looking at Fennel Adversity, we did see that they apart from that Fizz, they also have that Camille pick. Maybe they could change up a bit. Since it is
Yeah.
going to be a remake, we may be seeing a different composition, a different outlook on both of these teams.
Yeah, whatever is gonna happen here is just gonna be the turning point of our game right now, Crazy Apple. Because right now we all know that Fennel Adversity really thrives on those advantages when it comes to the first games. If ever they win the first game, they might snowball the momentum in their favor onto the next one, which is really what's scaring me right now. Because if they're playing like this, they're gonna be playing confidently against the members of Buriram United.
Yeah, I agree. And yeah, and other than just playing confidently, you do have that buffer right now. You're thinking to yourself, "Hey, I have a one game lead. Maybe I can try something different." On our side, I remember yesterday for Fennel Adversity, they kept picking the Senna, but since Senna was
Right.
banned, they weren't able to utilize that champion. So it is a different look for them. We'll just see what other looks could happen right here. But at the same time, it's gonna be a very explosive matchup between these two teams. We did see their games yesterday. They are very proactive and they do start a lot of these fights early on.
Yeah, and again, everyone, before we go on for our next game, we would just like to remind you that we have a giveaway: win NFTs and SAS tokens from Smash Shade. Share the live stream on Twitter or Facebook with the hashtag SGH Network, and guessing who will be the conquerors on the tournament. Include your Strava username and make sure it's following SGH Network on Trovo and or on Facebook. Also, big shout outs to our sponsors and organizers. SGH Network is a tournament hosting network as well as a content network where we feature the best and most flashy players in the Call of Duty Mobile and League of Legends Wild Rift scenes on a large-scale online event. Also, Smash Chain aims to become the first of its kind project dedicated to the advantage of all kinds of NFT technologies, use of cases, and also use cases and creators. And now, before we go on to our game two, we're just gonna be taking a short break, everyone. I'm Dash, and I was here with Crazy Apple. See you guys in just a bit. And welcome back everyone to the Asia Wild Rift Legends. And again, we saw a while ago Final Adversity versus Buriram United Esports. Now, Final Adversity has a 1-point advantage because of the DQ a while ago, just because Buriram United wasn't able to connect to the game. But right now, we're going to be going for our game 2. Right now, is Buriram United backs against the wall. They still have a chance to come back from this. It's a best of 3 anyway. And again, we're going to be your shoutcasters for today. I'm Dash and I'm here with Crazy Apple.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate for Buriram right there, but it is the nature of these online events. But at least it is a best of 3. There's still ways for Buriram to get back into the series. They can still win 2 games, but it is their backs against the wall right now. They are on the verge of getting sent to the lower bracket, and we do see right now the bans from both teams. Again, FLA banning the Olaf and the Jax along with that Renekton. On the other hand, for Buriram, they have banned the Camille, the Varus, and the Galio.
Okay, they have a lot of bans right now on their side. That is really what was the picks a while ago, right? But on the side of Final Adversity, there's always a ban that is a Jax and an Olaf. They really don't want to deal with these champions. That opens a lot of possibilities for most of the members of BRU. But now, with that, again, we saw BRU use this on Shibas. And they know how to play around this Fiora. And that is what I'm scared of for Final Adversity. Now, they're drafting what they drafted also a while ago, a Senna to the Jarvan.
Yeah, the Senna Jarvan is looking to be one of these classic combos that we've been seeing, especially in this tournament. Jarvan has been the perennial pick, can be picked in the jungle, can be utilized in that top side. And I guess it's really just the tools that he has. It is very flexible. He can go into the tank position, he can go into an off tank with a bit of more damage, and the Cataclysm has been fully utilized by a lot of these teams. At the same time, we do see, again, this Thresh on the hands of probably Braum. And yesterday we were just amazed on how Braum is utilizing this champion alongside that Lucian's gonna be a pretty solid bot lane for the side of Buriram.
Okay, we have seen this lineup already from the side of Final Adversity. They have picked the Jarvan to the Graves. Jarvan is going to go to the top side just for them to have CC. And Graves would be the insurance to the late game just because the Senna would be the utility man of the team here. So what they want to do here is to wait for the chance that a jungle would be strong enough to be fighting against most of his members. But what's good here from the side right now of PRU, they have a lot of tools to win in the early game. They have 2 insurances for the late game. So this is going to be very tricky to fight against for the side of FLA.
And looks like for FLA as well, yeah, it's gonna be tricky. But it looks like it's gonna be a rehash of their mid laner earlier. They are hovering that phase, and we do lock that. Then yeah, it's gonna be a very playful and tricky champion. So we'll see right here on the mid lane matchup is gonna be that Orianna against that Fizz, and those matchups, well, Orianna can just play that safely with her range. She can get some last hits in. She can use her shield and that barrier to live long enough to not get burst down by that Fizz. But it is still an assassin and a control mage matchup. It can be explosive depending on what we're gonna see on the side of the jungle matchup as well, because we're gonna be watching later a Fiora and Graves jungle, which would be 2 carry junglers instead of heavy ganking junglers.
Okay. What's really scary here for me is I think I saw most of the members right now of Final Adversity use the same composition, with the Fizz being the only champion that has a lot of damage with them. But it's a good thing that they coupled it with the Graves. So at least later on, they have some insurance in the late game when it comes to the damage department. They have a lot of CC with the Braum, even with the Senna. I can say that Senna is really something to behold on the side right now of FLA. Every time that they have the Senna possibility, they're always going to be picking it.
Yeah, and Senna is just, it feels like their comfort pick right now. Whenever you don't ban Senna is going to be picked up by this team, but they will be changing up the duo with it. It's going to be the Braum, and even though Braum is one of those champions that is still a support, he'll probably still pick up most of the gold in this lane. A bit of a early skirmish right now. It's going to be confusing for us because Braum is the name of the support player from BRU. We'll try our best to call him the Thresh player or support on the other hand for Final Adversity. But yeah, a bit of a tussle right now here in the bot side.
Okay, yeah, Braum was able to use the flay right. I can just say he's Thresh. Thresh was able to go for the play there. And we all know how this Thresh plays around the game. And look at the top lane, though. This is going to be the turnaround. Baron would be able to get the 5 stacks on to his head, and Cat Monkey is just going to be happy with it. What I like about this matchup in the top side, Crazy Apple, is that you know, when you're picking a Baron, oh no, that's gonna be the hit. Support is now gonna be forced to use that wall and not gonna be able to survive any more of that brink. That's why they're forced to use the heal and the barrier. But in the mid lane though, there's a lot of damage coming through. ADC is trying to do a lot of damage. Zhongli needs to be careful with this. But in the mid lane, look at this. There's a bit of a dance between our junglers and our mid laners. But now they have the advantage on the side right now, VRU.
Yeah, and again, ADC though getting caught here.
Oh, was able to get the hold. Zhongli almost falling down. That could have been it. He doesn't have the flash. He does have the barrier used. So he respected that whatever is going to happen here, it's not going to turn out beautiful if he flashed in against the members of BRU.
Yeah, and seems like a lot of action happening at the early parts of this game. Already BRU trying to put their foot down. They have immediately taken control of both the bot lane and the mid lane. You see the timing of Shibas in that mid lane, knowing that, hey, the Fizz is shoving the mid lane right now. He might be looking for that early back to be able to get a clean buy on his side while shoving this Orianna into her first turret and alongside, and was gonna be supported by that Graves, but Shibas was there to back up the Orianna. They were able to push back both of the Fennel Adversity's laners, champions, and they were just able to get that small advantage there in that lane.
Yeah, I like that no one is letting up. They're not trying to slip up on both sides, VRU and FLA, even though that FLA has the advantage right now with a 1 win. Is that BRU are really going for that. I mean, they're not desperate. They're just confident that they can turn this around. This best of 3 might still be a 2-1. It's still possible for us to win, especially that they let Brum they let that support player from BRU pick the trash.
Yeah, and that's what we want to see. Teams not giving up, teams just playing beautifully at the same time. Really, Buriram just hitting everything that FLA is doing, hitting them tit for tat, and looks like Brom right here. Flashing
in. Okay, that is going to be the play. They don't have the flash onto ADC, so that is going to fall down for sure. Shibas, what was that good timing? And we have seen Brom again and again, especially that they have the vision there. They were able to get the kill.
Yeah, and this support player right here from Buriram is just too good at these rotations, too good at hitting these death sentences, and again, enabling Buriram right there to get the kill.
Yeah, especially that ADC didn't have the flash there. It was just time and time again. Whenever he sees the chance, this Thresh player would go for the kill with the play and the death sentence. His death sentence is always perfectly placed, and that's what I'm really liking for the side of BRU.
Yeah, but on the other hand, looks like Graves right now looking for a gang on the top side.
Okay, they want to get the kill onto Cat Monkey. We all know he has the barrier on the 2v1. It's not gonna be hard for Cat Monkey to be fighting against them, but they respected that and they were forced to back away. But now BRU even is looking for this Ref Herald. They're not even having a care in the world for this Infernal Drake. But considering that they're seeing the rotation from FLA, they also want to go on where most of the members of FLA are gonna go.
Yeah, but in terms of back timings, BRU has backed already and has probably gotten a bit more items to FLA, but another death sentence right here.
No, again another death sentence, but that is good. The Glacial Fissure to the flag, and Drag was able to chip down a lot of members. They're going to be falling down. It's going to be good for the side of FLA. A double kill already flashing in. Look at that. That Braum player just flashed in the face of Shibas, and nobody fell down for the side of FLA, and they're going to be taking this Infernal Drake pretty easily.
Yeah, pretty easily right there. It was a very good fight right there for Fennel Adversity. Fennel Adversity immediately recognizing that we're a bit slower on the play, to be honest. They were, Buriram had a couple of backs for some of their players. They were able to pick up some items. So FLA immediately decided, hey, let's not put more members on other parts of the map. Let's all go into the Dragon Pit, so that when they were funneling into that tight choke point, Buriram thought that FLA was going for a back. They didn't. They went for the fight.
Oh, yeah, and they're going for a fight. Another one right here. They don't have ultimates to work with, but Shibas has, and the Grand Chancellors already came in. They might be able to take them. Oh, the Rip Herald was taken by them, and now they're ticking down. The heals coming in from that Grand Challenge. It's just punishing a lot of members from the side of Fennel Adversity, and they're losing them a lot. Jungle right here might fall down. That's going to be it. He's going to be back away, but the death sentence again from Brom was able to take him down. A good trade from the side of BRU.
Yeah, and that was a 4v5 in the Herald pit, and FLA was still able to get to secure the Rift Herald. They were able to steal that, but Cat Monkey, man, Cat Monkey was able to carry the fight for BRU. Although Zhongli did die in the bot side of the map, he was assassinated by the Fizz. At the same, it was still a trade for both teams in terms of objectives. FLA was able to get all of it, but Cat Monkey right now is in the driver's seat. He's able to get all this gold, probably go for the back, get some items. He might be able to just dish out the damage for the side of Buriram.
Yeah, honestly, the biggest reason why is because the Grand Challenge was popped during that fight. And Shibas was able to get all the weak points, and that's why they had full heals during that fight. It wasn't enough for FLA to be doing damage because they have a lot of sustain during the course of that fight, which is not ideal. Especially for long drag-on fights, you don't want to stay if you're facing Cat Monkey with the Darius.
Exactly. And right now it looks like FLA is just cleaning out their jungle, but Buriram is on a very aggressive note here.
Oh, what a good flag and drag. I think this is going to be the Tress falling down. That was a bit overzealous for the side of BRU.
Yeah, it felt like Buriram didn't notice that FLA noticed them.
Oh,
But right now, FLA still, pushing in.
Okay, the flashing flag and drag and the Cataclysm was forced out of the way. The Shockwave was able to hit all the three members onto the backside. That's why they weren't able to push in. But remember, I forgot to point that out. They still had the Rift Herald in their pockets, so they're going to be going for a push here, pushing the mid lane. They were able to get the kill. They were able to get more. And this is going to be the last target right now. The crosshair placement, but Cat Monkey, look at him in the backside. He might be able to look at all his members. Look at that. The Noxian Guillotine wasn't able to get the kill, but now a lot of low members right here is going to be the target for Cat Monkey. He's chasing them down. That's going to be the next spray. Baron is going to fall down. BRU with Cat Monkey, man. This kid is really, really a good player.
Yeah, this kid right here is just, in a way, carrying Buriram on his back right now. That jungle invade for Buriram went sideways immediately. FLA, knowing the information, knowing that there was someone in the bush, immediately capitalizing with a flag on drag, immediately getting that pick and the kill. And again, forcing the issue in the mid lane. Baron tried to get another pick right there for Fennel Adversity so that to be able to get a lot more control over the side of Buriram. But the flank coming from Cat Monkey was just beautiful, being able to win that fight for Buriram.
Yeah, man, I'm really, really scared on the side of Buriram Unite. Oh, what was that? Shibas was able to get a kill onto mid in the bot side of the map, though. They weren't able to answer back with anything. Because looking at this, BRU with Shibas, he really knows how to play around. And that's going to be the stun right here. Cat Monkey is going to be the target. This is really what they were supposed to be doing for the side of Fennel Adversity. They should just be kiting Cat Monkey because he's really just going to be walking through against them. So that after they use the range against him, he won't be able to get any value out of that apprehend.
Yeah, so it's really gonna be that evolution of these fights. Let's see how the adjustment right there for Final Adversity. We did see a bit the adjustment right there, but as well, Buriram also made an adjustment. They have noticed that mid is always, but there's gonna be a fight.
Okay, Cat Monkey is going to be the target. He was forced to flash away, but the Jump the Waters is too much to deal with. And FLA knew that they can take the shutdown goal. They were able to capitalize, losing one member on this next objective, especially that it is the Cloud Drake. They want to take this because they want to go for more fights, especially that they have Braum with the Thresh there. So if they want to go for more, that's going to be the hold. Support is just forcing them back out of the way. They can go for this, but Shibas, he's still super healthy, but they turned around. The stasis was used. Not a good timing. The Lantern won't be able to save you there, and FLA is going to be turning this around. 3k gold lead right now. BRU needs to try something different. They shouldn't be contesting this Drake.
Yeah, they shouldn't be contesting this. It's a 4v5. Their most fed member was taken down early on with a very proactive play coming from the side of Fennel Adversity, immediately picking him off when he was a bit mispositioned. But right now, it looks like the trade for Buriram is this Rift Herald.
Ooh, they could have negotiated that, but now with the timings, FLA could go in for a fight against him. Everybody is sticking out. FLA has an advantage when it comes to the numbers, but they were still able to take the Rift Herald. Good timing for Shibas, but Cat Monkey also fell down. We're seeing FLA taking them down one by one. They're chasing them out. Even the Shockwave won't be able to do anything because Archery is being forced to back away, and that's going to be Shibas falling down right here. The Shockwave was able to get the kill onto one, but to what avail? They're not going to be getting anything because they're going to be aced right now by FLA. A 5-member strong ace against BRU.
Yeah, and a beautiful punish right there from Fennel Adversity, immediately recognizing that they had the man advantage in that Herald pit. Archini was nowhere inside. He was still at base. He was able to join the fight later on, but FLA was just able to throw it down. Yes, BRU was able to secure that that Herald, which, yeah, kudos to them. They are able to at least get that objective. But in the end, the fight was won by FLA. But Brom right here looking for a pick.
Okay, he wants to go for it. He flashed in. There comes the lantern, but here comes the fray. Jungle needs to survive for a bit if he wants to win this fight. But look at that. A lot of damage coming in from Cat Monkey, but he has already been down for the count. He's not going to be a threat anymore for the side of FLA.
Yeah, and I felt that was a bit ambitious for the side of BRU. There were only two members from them. It was only the Darius and the Thresh. It would have really needed a major mistake on the side of FLA for only having one member on the top side of the map when they knew that one of their team members was already in a very vulnerable spot. But also good call right there from FLA, always having the back of each other. And it's just been a game of those kinds of situations where which team had the man advantage, which team had more players on that side of the map, and they would usually win those fights.
Yeah, whoever has the more damage potential, that is when they pull the trigger, and that is where Cat Monkey would shine on this fights. Like what they did a while ago, that could have been one of the only things that they can do. They should go for picks. They should try to get some kills if ever they can. If they can't, they just back away because they have the abilities to do that. But again, BRU now is on a disadvantage, and what they need to do, try to get some pick-offs, try to get some split pushes, at least invest, try to put the members of FLA not in their comfort zones so that they can try and go for those kills.
Yeah, exactly. And right now, FLA is again pushing the tempo. They are invading this side of the jungle, trying to get a bit more vision.
No,
But
mid.
Shibas, though,
Okay, Shiba's trying to get a grand challenge onto mid. He was forced to flash out of the way, even though that he's not really going for it. But look at this, the Glacial Fissure would be able to hit onto Brom, and now he's going to be able to get anything out of the way. The Shockwave was able to hit onto two members, so 5 stacks onto the heads of a lot of them, and Brom is going to fall down also. That's going to be a lot of damage. Shiba's, look at this, in the back line. He was trying to do some damage, but he was forced to flash away, and that's going to be it. One is down for the count, and this is going to be it. They're trying to get onto Shiba's. He's going to fall down, and that's going to be 4 members for 2 in favor of FLA.
yeah, and there's a sudden fight happening in the mid lane. Probably they just look at each other very, very badly, and they're like, "Yeah, let's fight right here." And the fight was so long that Shibas and mid, they were on the top side of the map. They were able to join the fight, and FLA was able to turn that around with Cat Monkey right there trying to really force the issue, but he was picked off, just kited by the members of FLA. And with that, FLA will be taking this Baron.
Yeah, I'm really scared. Honestly, even though that FLA has the advantage, I'm really scared of this Thresh player from the side of PRU. Honestly, he was the one making plays. He was the one probably making calls for the team here. He's the shining star of the game, and that's why everyone just follows through on his calls. And just on that last fight, it was just not enough for them just because they have big disadvantages when it comes to the items. They just need Shibas and Archony to get those right items for them to get on those bigger fights. Because right now, they won't be able to win against it, but now they're going to go for more. A grand challenge has been used. Shibas was forced to back away. Now, the Cataclysm would be able to hit onto one, and that's going to be the target coming in. The Dawning Shadow would be able to survive on a lot of members. FLA is trying to do some damage, but not enough to get any wins. PRU are trying the desperation here. They're forced to back away. The last member, Archony, now 1 HP, not going to be able to do anything, and I think this is going to be game crazy. Apple, FLA are just trying to take everything, but they try to do the methodic thing. They're going to be backing away, trying to take this inhibitor turret, but I think okay, they could possibly end this game.
This might be the end.
They're gonna be able, yeah, they're gonna be going for the kill. What is this? FLA. The confidence came in. They know that they can end it. They tried to take that Archony, and that's gonna be the win. FLA forces BRU onto the losers bracket.
Yeah, and congratulations to Fennel Adversity. They'll be moving to round 3 of the upper bracket. They are the first team to have gone to that next round. And I just want to say that the things that were happening in the mid lane suddenly went from bad to worse on the side of Buriram. They were trying to force these fights. Shibas was caught in the mid lane being a bit being a bit too forward in his positioning. He had to burn the grand challenge, and they were forced into a fight by FLA. Baron right there forcing the issue with that with the Cataclysm, just enabled the FLA's composition to just take down members of BRU one by one. The Cataclysm was so beautifully used. It trapped certain members at the same time, separating the fight. So yeah, a very good game right there from Fennel Adversity. Unfortunately, Buriram will be going into the lower bracket. They still have a chance to win this whole tournament. They just need to run through the whole lower bracket. But for FLA, they deserve this win and how they played this game too, and they're just gonna cement themselves in a better position.
Yeah, I can also say for the side of FLA, even though that Baron, I think, is one of the players that they need to look out for in ADC on the side of FLA. Because honestly, the Cataclysms, the Flag and Drags coming in from Baron was so good in enabling a lot of their players. Mid will follow through, jungle would follow through, and that was just Baron making use of his all of his skill set and being that tank that the team needs whenever he's needed. Front to back, they're good with that, and they know how to stay in formation. Also, don't forget, ADC always picks the Senna. If you
Yeah.
give him the Senna, he's gonna be using that in his favor for sure. He's gonna be the utility man. But even though that's the case, the other members would be enabled. Like jungle and mid, they're always enabled just because ADC picks the Senna.
Yeah, and as the schedule is, this is going to be the final game for today as well, the final match. So there's going to be this 1 week gap because we're gonna the next games will be in the next week, and there's going to be this
Right.
1 week gap where teams can look over the VODs, maybe check out these picks and bans. As you mentioned,
Right.
it is the Senna pick over and over again for Final Adversity. I believe in game one it should have been a different pick. Senna was
Right.
banned, but in game two it was a different case. We were looking forward maybe and the whoever will be the opponent of Final Adversity probably next week. Will they ban out the Senna? Will they allow Final Adversity to still utilize these kinds of front to back compositions, and at the same time they also ball up to really separate these fights? So yeah, a lot of adjustments that we may be seeing next week for these teams.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm really excited, especially Crazy Apple when it comes to the lower brackets, because most of the teams there, they're desperate for the wins because it's a best of one. They need to try their best every game, and before them to get a revenge match against whoever put them down there on the lower bracket. So now, again, before we go on for our games today, that was our last match for the day. You can win NFTs and SAS tokens from Smash Chain. Share the live stream on Twitter or Facebook with the hashtag SGH Network, and guessing who will be the champions of this tournament. Include your Trovo username on and make sure it's following SGH Network on Trovo or Facebook. And I think Crazy Apple has a message from our sponsors.
Yeah, and we'd like to thank our sponsors as well. SGH Network is a tournament hosting network as well as a content network where we feature the best and most flashy players in the Call of Duty Mobile and League of Legends Wild Rift scenes on a large-scale online event such as this one. As well, we'd also like to thank Smash Chain. Smash Chain is an upcoming creation of the world's most valuable catalog of rare, non-fungible assets through partnerships with acclaimed artists, creators, and distinguished personalities from every industry. Smash Chain aims to become the first of its kind project dedicated to the advancement of all kinds of NFT technologies, use cases, and creators.
Yeah, and again, I would just like to congratulate the teams that were able to win their games today. It is Sem9, MBR, and also Final Adversity, who was able to test their boundaries, test their limits today, and they were able to get all their wins right now. Mostly of the best of threes, it's a 2-0. That just says a lot. So I'm excited if they face each other in the bracket, whoever is going to win. But again, everyone, that was just our last game of the week. And that is going to be it for now. We have been your casters for today. I'm Dash, and I was here with Crazy Apple. See you guys next week for more Wild Rift action.